So I hope y'all doing excellent and doing great. So I decided to do something new on this channel, more like a morning talk, like a little mini morning podcast. So I'm trying to work on doing that and just add that to like my rotation of content that I want to put out there. And just to, just put some morning inspiration out there, something to think about, good conversation. Now I do want to say this. No one has to agree with any of the things that I say, in my videos. This is just for open conversation. Yes, there are things that I do believe strongly in, but I do understand that all of us will have our own different opinions and things like that because of our own, personal experience, our journey in life. Now, of course, I do want to remind everybody, just be respectful of your opinions. You can't say what you have to say, and that's okay. We all can express how we feel about different things, but, add some respect to it. Even for me, if I disagree with what someone says about any particular thing, I usually just don't comment. It's just me clicking out the video or just having my own personal conversations about what they said and just, kind of get some understanding. I think sometimes when we, come about, different, I guess, opinions and different thoughts about different topics of life that we tend to forget that yes, people have different experiences. And it is good to kind of just be open to other experiences and to be open to other thoughts and opinions as long as we just stay respectful with it. Now, that doesn't mean I go along with everything, but at least, I try to come with some respect to it, not try and just get, down on the person or jump down their throat about certain things, but at least be respectful in how I conduct myself and how I conduct my response. So I just want to say that first, just put that out there. Because I don't want nobody to think that, I'm just telling you this how you need to do things, but it is a conversation. And yes, I do have strong beliefs about things, but just want to share, my journey and my life story and to share, things that I have experienced. So this is really what's the main foundation for this segment of this. So this will be the first segment for this week, and next week, I'll be planning to put out more out there for a little bit more encouragement. So let's go ahead and jump into it. To it. So, in this stage of my life, I'm thinking more about where I want to head and what direction I want to take. And I do understand that, yes, because I am a single parent, that I'm not making decisions based on just me, that I know my decisions do affect my son. And I do have to be strategic when I do things. Now, yes, I do have this mindset of if I want to do something, I just need to do it. I need to make time for it. I need to push myself toward that because I really hate that some of us put ourselves in this position of if we don't have everything right in order in our lives, that we're not going to try to do anything else. That we just stuck in this one thing. Like if you become a parent, my sole purpose in that moment is to be a parent. Now, yes, that's true. You have to be a parent, but at the same time, you're still a person. You still have, you may be having a career at that point, you have a business. And I think that's more about managing your time correctly so you can contribute equally to each one of those different areas and each one of those different roles in your life. Because one thing that I'm learning just about, myself is that when I am not comfortable in a space or situation, I will start to just tune out. Like I would just start to just pull myself back from things because I'm not feeling where I'm at. Like I'm not advancing, I'm not thriving, and I'm just there. And I get it. Sometimes we do stay in situations for the people because they may need us to do certain things. Or if you're a parent, well, my child goes to school here, but I'm not really advanced. I'm not really thriving. We're just, trying to make it from day to day. And we're not really, I guess, being at the level we need to be at. And I do understand why people make those decisions because it's like, hey, I don't want to put my child in this situation where I don't want to just tell my parents that, hey, I don't want to follow that career path that they want me to follow. I want to do something different, or even try to set a boundary with a family member, even a friend that, hey, at this stage of my life, I'm working on this and I don't have time to stay on the phone for hours and hours, talking about this and that, or I can't run to, every plea that you have or try to run and rescue have things, because I'm busy looking at this, or I miss with my own, family and my own household. So I can understand how people can have different feelings about that. But for me, what I'm learning is that resentment is a real thing. And when you want to make a certain decision, and because you didn't make that decision because of somebody else, then you tend to start building up their resentment toward that person. Or you may turn into this person that you try to live your life out through other people, and you're pushing them towards something that they don't want to do. And it's not something I want to do as a parent. I want to be able to put myself in a position where my son can do whatever that he desires to do. Like I'm able to support him in whether it's business or college or wherever he want to go into. And I hate that, sometimes we don't always think within that I guess within that space, like, hey, it could be another way to do this. Like, it doesn't have to be just this one way. Like, I have to put my whole life on hold because everybody else around me is not ready for me to move forward. And I think that's really what the truth is because, you may have been in a position for a good while where you're just stagnant and you're not really moving, you're not really going nowhere. You're on a job that really is not, it's not really no investment there for you. You may be in a place where it's just you don't really have the resources and opportunities that you need to really just advance your life there. And it's okay just to admit and say that, hey, I'm not where I need to be. And I do need to make a decision going forward that I need to put myself in a much better position, in a much better place where I'm not so stressed out, overwhelmed, or feel like I'm just all alone by myself. But I need to put myself in a place where I know that, hey, this is where I can thrive at. And the truth is that when you start put yourself in that position where you can truly succeed, then everybody else that's connected to you can actually partake in that. Like even with parents, I do believe parents need to put themselves in the best position possible so they can thrive personally and as well as being a parent, they can actually thrive in that area as well. Because when you have parents with the right mindset about stuff, then their children can benefit for that. But we got a parent that's over here this day, over here that day, just going, flip flopping with things, then that child, that's not really stability for me. And I know for some people, stability means that you're in this one place doing this one thing, and hey, you got no interruptions, and that's cool for some, I guess for some, but stability really means that you're in a place where things are grounded in your life, and you're not, just it's so many different I guess what I'm trying to say, you're not going back and forth so many different decisions and things like that. And it's okay to have options. Like you don't have to be, you know, stuck with one career path. You can have more than one career path, but you don't have to just subject yourself just to this one thing or this one goal that you can balance other goals at the same time. And yeah, it's nothing wrong if you have your attention on that one thing. It just depends on who you are as a person. It just depends on where you want to go and where you want to be. And I'm not saying don't consider nobody else, but don't just hold yourself back because you feel like if you're moving forward and someone else being left behind, then their guilt gonna be on you because you didn't take them with you or you didn't prepare them for that. And another thing that this gonna be my final note is this: everybody have choices. Some people will be there for you if they intend to do that, if that's their intention. If their intention is to support you, they'll support you. If it's not in them to do that, then you're not gonna get much from them, you know. And even with, back to just even being a parent, it's always good to prepare your children, for things. It's always good to make sure that they can just have the right understanding about what's the next move in life. It's good to do that. I don't think it's always the wisest thing just to make a decision just now. I'm just pulling my child out. This not them really explain to them or sit down with them. And I get it. If they're a certain age, like a little baby, toddler, they're not gonna really understand in a way. Not saying kids don't have feelings, but I think as they get older, we should just at least sit them down, prepare them for that move, and not just push them in that space because of how we're feeling. And like I said before, yes, we still got to put ourselves in a better position. So hopefully this helps in some way. Not trying to be all over the place, but just have a talk and just give us something to think about because I never want to put myself in a position where I'm just regretting everything because I didn't put myself in a place to actually move forward into something new and something different. And I don't want that to happen to you. So if you have any thoughts about this, put them down below. And as the weeks go by, I'm gonna have more of these type of content, these type of segments, so we can have more good conversation, which I love to have. So y'all be